Hello everybody and welcome back to Mutti Plays... Well, not welcome back, it's just welcome to Mutti Plays Pokemon Sapphire version. Now, why am I doing this game? Well, I have been having a really big urge to play Generation 3 for quite a while, but Black and White 2 isn't going to come out until 12 days from now, I believe. And even then it's going to be a bit until possible Gen 3 remakes are coming out. And a bit of a note. Normally I would want to name the player character after myself, TK Mutti or just Mutti, but my kitty isn't doing so well, so I'm going to name the player character Sheba so that I can have something to bring up fond memories of my kitty. And if you want to know more details about my kitty, PM me. I am not going to talk about that in a public area. But anyways, on to the adventure. We start in a truck. And then the door opens. And then I pull up the options so that I can fiddle around with the things. Because I am picky about which frame I have. In fact, that's probably one of my few gripes about Gen 5 is that I can't change the frames of the text bubbles. But very tiny thing to be worried about. The rest of the game is great. And here our mom comes out. And oh, and why Sapphire specifically out of Gen 3? Well, it's the only game that I can remember for certain that I have owned, because around Emerald and the Gen 1 remakes, Fire Red and Leaf Green, I kind of slipped out of liking Pokemon for exactly those 3 games. I'm not entirely sure how soon into Diamond and Pearl's lifespan I picked up Diamond, but Emerald, Fire Red, and Leaf Green was about the only time I slipped out of liking Pokemon, and well, I can't say I love the series as much anymore, because it kind of loses its enjoyment after the plot a lot of the time, at least for me. Especially since I barely have anybody to play with in my area. But I am liking Conquest, so even if the main games can't keep me entertained forever, I can check out a spin-off. And something I like, well, I think it makes more sense that the mover, well, whatever, the moving Pokemon back there in our house. We're Machop in this game, and I personally see it as making more sense for the Machop to be movers instead of the Vigoroth that were in Emerald. Because, well, Machop are big, muscly Pokemon that lift things, and bodybuilders, boxers, rawr. But, Vigoroth, maybe because they were your dads and he lent them to help move stuff, but I just personally find the Machop make more sense. And, had a little chat with Brendan, and over here oh, please tell me you guys can't hear that. Here, Professor Birch is being chased around by a Poochyena, which is also another thing I prefer to Emerald, is that Poochyena makes more sense as a vicious early Pokemon than a Zigzagoon. Seriously, what the hell? And I pick Torchic because it is the cutest little thing here. And for those of you who would have preferred that I go for Mudkip for reasons that shall not be named, I will tell you to shut up. You will get to see the rival use the Mudkip since I chose Torchic. And I am very glad that it was a boy, because I wanted to name it a very specific thing. And I couldn't have done that if it was a girl. And I don't think I'll be reading the text in this game, because the way I've decided to record for this, at least, I record a certain amount of game at a time and just chop out the random encounters, except for the ones that we haven't seen yet. And if I leave the text at slow, that's gonna cover less ground. And with the way I'm recording for this game in particular, I'm not gonna like that. So I'll just try to find things that I can yammer on about for up to 20 minutes at a time. And for those of you who looked back to part 27 of The Legend of Zelda Let's Play to see the hints that were pointing towards me doing this, I hope you're paying attention to my nickname of Torchic. Because yes, I did leave hints for what I was gonna have my final team be. Now, I will be picking up some Pokemon that won't end up being in the final team to help me along the way, especially since I chose Torchic as my starter, and, well, this game has a rock gym leader as the first gym. And only Gen 2 and Gen 5 break that pattern. So, yeah, gonna need to pick up some helpers along the way. And, oh, crap, was that a Zigzagoon? Normal type, weak to fighting, yeah. And Poochyena, dark, weak to fighting and bug. Blur. Remember why you cut out it? Blur. And here is the Pokemon Center with Nurse Joy, though, I'm not sure if they're called Nurse Joy in the games exactly, because at least in Gen 4, you see a lady with the sprite for the nurse, but she's called Casey. So, is it just that the Sinnoh nurses are named Casey, or is it that all of the game nurses are called Casey. But, anyways, here we are fighting Brendan, of course saving beforehand. And, here we are. Come on. And now the fight starts. Basically, if you've never played Pokemon before, your rival will always choose the starter that is super effective against your starter. In this case, he chose Mudkip since I chose Torchic. And Mudkip right now is just a water type, weak to grass and electric types. And I think that's about it. Though, if you've never played Pokemon before, then, how the hell did you find me? Seriously, I only have 6 subscribers. How the hell did you find me? Especially if you haven't heard of Pokemon. It's the second best-selling video game franchise in the world. And, as you can see, we beat his Mudkip quite easily, and, by sticking to offensive attacks when he was using defensive attacks. Now, by defensive attacks, I don't just mean that they help his defenses. Sometimes defensive attacks, at least in the way I'm using the term, will mess with your stats or give your Pokemon status conditions, which, Okay, I didn't miss it yet. Okay. And, we talked to him to get him to go down. And we jump over that ledge, and those are one way. You can't move up them, you can only move down them. And go back to Birch's lab. And Professor Birch will gift you with a Pokédex. Yay! And Brendan gives you Pokeballs so that you can actually catch Pokemon now. So, sorry to those of you who encounter a shiny before you can even get Pokeballs, cause... Oh, and over here, your mom has something for you. Running shoes, the first appearance of them in the game. Oh, and I just remembered something. When I first picked up this game, I was so in love with the graphics. 'Cause, like, I picked it up, and I played it, and I was like, oh my god, these graphics are so 3D! Oh. But, if you've played, Generation 4 or Generation 5, you'll be like, 3D? Yeah, right. That's just well-shaded 2D. And the rest of the part here is going to be me running around in the grass looking for Pokemon, and basically I am looking for 2 specific Pokemon. Lotad, right there, and Ralts. Lotad is part grass, part water, weak to flying, I think the electric weakness still applies. There's gotta be something else. I don't know. But, basically, both water and grass are good, types to help with the first gym, because the first gym leader is weak to water and grass type Pokemon. And here's a... Was this... Why didn't I cut that out? I ran into one earlier in the vid, didn't I? Why the hell didn't I cut that out? Whatever. And more running around in the grass. It was something I ran into before, so... Nope. And another dud. 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 And here. This thing! You have a 1% chance of encountering it. So if you ever run into it, at least in Sapphire, I don't remember if the encounter rate is the same for Ruby and Emerald. If you encounter it, you catch it, do not kill it like I'm going to do here. And that way you won't be annoyed by trying to find it. And I grabbed this in the next part because it's part water, so that's going to help with the gym, though it is also a bug type, so that's not going to be of much help either. And that is about it for this part. Next time I will go into Petalburg City. I will see you then.